Hey everybody, welcome to the Slick Tree Podcast. I'm your host, Colby Langford. The point of this show is to help improve ourselves as dogmen and to raise the quality of the dogs on the end of our lead. So let's settle in, turn the volume up, and let's see if we can't learn a trick or two together from our guests. Hey everybody, you are listening to the Slick Tree Podcast. I'm your host, Colby Langford, and today we have Dee Patton on the phone. How you doing, Dee?
Doing good, Colby. Doing real good. Thanks for having me on here.
Yep, we've been trying to line up and get this thing synced up to where we could get it. I thought I was going to get you here a while back whenever I came down and saw you and went and interviewed Mr. Dane Phillips, but it didn't end up working out that trip. So we're just gonna do her by phone this time.
Hey, everybody's busy. Everybody's running all the time.
Yep. Well, it is just about the 4th of July. It is hot. Uh, yeah. I haven't been hunting much lately. I don't. Have you been?
I haven't been hunting any. We're just I've been working so much and then doing travel softball and stuff with my daughter.
Yep.
Right before she gets back into college and stuff, we're finishing up her last year of travel softball.
Yeah. That sounds like some good stuff.
It is. Enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching her grow up and do this and now move on and play college ball.
Yeah.
You getting to fish any or anything like that?
Man, our river it's not been a good year on our river for fishing. I mean, I probably could have got out there more than I have, but like right now, I'd have to put in on not a boat ramp just because our river's up
Yes, ours is
just a
up
little
and
bit out of the
rolling right.
bank right now, and I could put in. It's just it hadn't been great. The river is starting to look pretty good though right now, so I might try to get out there and at least go bow fishing or something here in the next couple of days, anyways.
Yeah, yeah. It's up here. We like to get into the white bass and stripers, and I'm telling you right now, the water's up and it's rolling over the jetties and stuff up here by me.
Yeah,
So,
we've had
but
we've had some big rain events. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. We've had two rain events that were over five. That my 5 inch rain gauge was overflowing. So I don't even know how much we got at the house. We've had two of them this year. We've had I think two or three that were over 3 inches. I mean, we've got a lot of rain. It just hadn't been a real good conditions for spending a lot of time on the river this year here.
we'll be glad though that we've got it because it's probably going to come to an end anytime.
Oh, it's starting to feel dry.
Yes, yes. Hey, them are some very, very sharp pups that you have up there. I mean, every time you post them pups, I look at them and thinking they're very sharp. They should make very nice dogs.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just listed that last one a couple different places today, and my boy had them went and ran out and let the. We've still got four here at the house, and I've got one of them's going off. So my plan was to keep two here, and I let him out, and I just about took the post down. I like that pup that I just listed a lot. He's a good acting little pup. I was like, man, they probably just ought to keep him here, but I don't know. If someone
Yeah,
wants to buy him, I'll leave him up there for a little bit longer, and if not, it's not gonna hurt my feelings if he stays here.
yeah. It's just a bad time of year. Nobody's really thinking, puppies and none of that stuff as hot as it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I promise you, later on, they're going to be wishing that they'd have snatched that dog up.
Yeah. Well, you got a pup at the house too right now, don't you? Why don't you tell us what you've got?
I do. I've got a pup out of a little female that's out of Masai, and then it's out of the little Walker Jip that Wade's dad has. I think they call her Millionaire. It's out of it, and she is a ball of fire. I've I really got high hopes for her. Uh, hadn't made up my mind what I want to do. If I'm going to try to just put her on squirrels and leave her on it, or if I'm going to try to mess with her on maybe coon and squirrels, or I'm really kicking around the idea just to go straight nighttime with her. And I think whatever she decides to do, she'll do it good. She's like I said, she's wide open everywhere she goes. And I turn her out here in the evenings, and there's some rabbits been messing around here at the house, and she'll throw her head in the air, and I mean, just in a little bit, she's after one of them rabbits, and I mean, putting him out of the yard. So, uh, but she's like I said, very smart acting pup. I mean, just anything. I went out there and started throwing her a tennis ball the other day, and it wasn't three or four times throwing it. She was picking it up and bringing it back to me, and just, I mean, she's just seems like she got a head full of sense.
Yeah.
Um,
So anybody listening that's not familiar with the dog you're talking about, that millionaire dog, so that's a full walker that is a litter mate to Rackham Willie, correct?
That's from my understanding. That's correct.
Yep. Yep. Nope. That ought to
Yeah,
be. You sent me that video of playing fetch the other day. That's a good looking pup. It looks smart.
it's very athletic. Very athletic. Chris has got one of them, Sproul, and I think he's really liking his and stuff too. I mean, Wade was actually telling me yesterday, I believe it was, that he just got his from his dad's house and stuff. So I don't know where all of them went, but I'm curious to see how this little cross does and stuff on it.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of background for everybody listening. I don't even know. I doubt you even remember this, D. But I think the first time we ever met was somewhere around 2010 uh, at a Piney Creek. I think it was an NKC Piney Creek hunt. I had went there and I was spectating along with Dwayne Holland, and I believe you were. I didn't get to go on a cast with you, but you were there, I believe. Uh,
I probably was. I spent been at that clubhouse over there quite a bit over the years and stuff. Used to be some good hunts out of that.
yeah,
I guess they still have good hunts out of it and stuff. I've kind of shifted and went another direction on dogs I hunt and stuff. So I can't really go over and hunt in them hunts. So, but it's I think still a good group of guys that's over there hunting.
yeah. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background with dogs, D? How'd you get into them?
Well, Kobe, I started off originally rabbit hunting, and I always had some kind of beagles and stuff around. I'd hunting them, whether it be on rabbit or deer or whatever. And then I got to just hunting on going strictly rabbit dogs and hunted that several years there. And of course, my grandpa, he always had a dog that would, both my grandpas did, that would tree a squirrel or whatever. It may not do it the best, but it would go tree one. And I always enjoyed that. And we would go up on the mountain with my grandpa there. We'd ride up there in the mountain and go visit family. And some of them always had an old cur dog of some sort that when you pulled up there and walked outside, that dog was going to go get treed somewhere. And I just always enjoyed that. And I mean, anytime I could ever go with him up there to visit with those folks, we would just ride up there. And like I said, I always wanted to go over there because when I pulled up, them dogs go to treeing and they'd always used to tell me, hey, grab a 22 or grab a shotgun. You can walk down there. And I just always enjoyed that. And then when I got a little older, I kind of got out of the rabbit hunting stuff and when I was driving and stuff, I started coon hunting. And I mean, I didn't care what color it was or what it was. If it was a Walker dog, if it was a black and tan, blue ticks, I mean, English dog, whatever. If I could take it and tree a coon with it, I was tickled with it. And I started doing that for a while and hunting through high school with some buddies of mine, and we was back and forth on it. And then kind of got into squirrel hunting and stuff, when I started getting I got married and got kids and stuff, and it was kind of harder to hunt at night and stuff a little bit more. It just made more sense to squirrel hunt. And so I would squirrel hunt a little bit, and got to go on these competition hunts. And I bought my first squirrel dog, real squirrel dog that I would say, well, competition dog. I bought it and I went to the bank and took a loan out for the dog. Um, and you just, like, I showed up, I had a little fencing business, and I showed up and told the loan guy there, I said, I need to borrow some money. And he's like, what are you needing it for? And I said, well, if I really told you, I said, you wouldn't give me the money. And I said, so I really need to buy an auger for the back of my tractor. And he's like, well, just tell me what you really want the money for. And so I told him, I said, I'm really wanting to buy a dog. And he just kind of laughed at me. And so I told him, I said, like I said, I knew you wouldn't do it. I said, but will you give me the money for an auger? And he said, yeah, I will. So I went and got the money for this auger, and I went and paid the man for his dog. And that's when that was my first competition squirrel dog. And I was going to Piney Creek over there then. I'd go to 56, just kind of wherever out in Oklahoma and some places out there, Louisiana when they had it, the NKC hunts and stuff was big then, and we would go all over and just and everything. But that's where I got into squirrel hunting at, and then kind of from there, I was coon hunting again at night with these cur dogs, hounds, whatever. But I always seemed to try to keep a pretty decent squirrel dog around. I mean, to most people, it's probably junk, but it always seemed like I could always compete with it, and stuff. And then the more I got into it, of course, dogs has changed over the years and stuff like that. I mean, in my opinion, they've got a lot better. Um, and I've been very fortunate and got to handle some really nice dogs for people over the years. Um, I got hooked up, with Joe and Gary, and that's how I got into the LBK group and everything. We was actually at Piney Creek over there, and just kind of, started from there. I mean, seemed like I always, at that point, I'd always have a dog, hunt it for a few years, and then somebody would want it. And I'll be honest with you, I get burnt out with them after a while, and I like hunting something new. And so I would get me something new to hunt or handle from somebody, and I'd find me something else, in the meantime, and then I might keep it for a while, and I'd get rid of it. And I've got rid of some real nice dogs uh, that done a lot of winning and stuff. They've just nice dogs. I mean, for whether you want to pleasure hunt or whatever with them, but like I said, they just kind of got old, and I like to hunt something different all the time.
Yeah,
So I've been fortunate, like I said, and got to hunt and handle some very good dogs and own some very good dogs over the year. Um, and so when I've met a lot of people in these hunts and stuff, and made a lot of new friends and stuff with it, lifelong friends, with it and stuff. So it's been a good deal. It was honestly it was probably rough on my marriage the first time because once I started doing it and got into it, then it got to be where that's all I wanted to do. And any spare time, I mean, I'd get off work. If I wasn't squirrel hunting, I was coon hunting. And I'd coon hunt every single night. I mean, once I got to comp hunting, I started, if I'm going to do it, I want to win. And everybody says, well, we just go to have fun. We don't care if we win or lose. Well, I disagree with them. If I'm going to go to it, I want to win. Now we can be friends and we can talk, whatever, and enjoy it. And I have a lot of fun when I'm doing it. But if I'm going to actually go to it, then I want to put the time in it and I want to know that I can compete when I get there. And, it's just, like I said, I've met a lot of good folks. I've met a lot more good folks than I have bad, and you hear that all the time. Well, comp hunting, it ain't no fun and it's cutthroat and all this. I totally disagree with that. And I'm sure there's places and people that's like that, but for the all in all, it's not been that way on my end of it. And I would do it all over again if I had the opportunity to.
I agree with you. I don't even like going unless I've got something that I'm packing that I think I can win with. Uh, I just don't see the point in going to lose. But
No, and I mean, we hunt, and I'm fortunate. I mean, I'm right here close to my crush, Gary Mitchell, Joe Walker. I have Bart Williams. They're all right here. I mean, Chris Sproul and them's here, but we're very fortunate to have a group of guys that's here like this because I hunt probably 90% of the time by myself. But when I get done and before I go to hunt, I can holler at any of them guys and say, "Hey, can we meet up? I want to see what I have right now. I want to work on some things and see what I need to do before I go to these hunts." And I can meet up and we can go dump dogs, and we can go hunt. And if I can compete, I've always felt like and I know there's better dogs out there and stuff, but any of them guys there's always got a dog that usually will compete, and it keeps them, I mean, in the top. I mean, and stuff. Not saying they win everything, but they can compete against anything out there, and I feel like hold their own, and stuff. So I've always got a pretty good measuring stick that I can go throw my dog out with and see what I need to do. If I need to just completely start over, or if I need to, if I'm in pretty good shape, for the age of him and all that. So I've been blessed to have that, with that right here like that. I know Joe, he don't comp hunt as much anymore. You might get him to go every once in a while, and Gary's kind of that way, but Gary hunts every day, I think. I mean, he's retired now, so I mean, he hunts every day, and stuff. And so he's always got a nice dog there with him. And Mike Rush, he hunts. I'm gonna tell you when it's time to start hunting, Mike hunts as hard as anybody you know of. And all them guys, Bart hunts hard. Chris, Blake, all them guys that are in it, Eli. I mean, they're all hunting hard. A lot of these guys are. If you want to compete, you got to. You're the same way. I mean, when it's time to compete, you're gonna hunt hard.
Hmm.
Uh, but like I said, been blessed to handle some nice dogs and get to win some stuff with them, and it's just it's been good.
Yeah. So, about what year was it that you went to the bank?
Well, that's probably been, let's see,
And tell me about the dog you bought.
it was out of Holland's Lucky Dog, Dwayne Holland's Lucky Dog, and out of, I believe James Mincer owned Rattler was the name of this dog. Nice dog, won a lot of stuff. And it's probably been, Kobe, about 35 years ago.
Man, you're old,
But
D.
I am.
I'm just giving you a
I'll be
hard time,
50.
buddy.
I'll be 52. No, let me take that back. So it's probably been 30 years ago though. I would think maybe it may not have been. It may not be quite that long because I had some other dogs in between there that was just, to be honest with you, there's culls. I mean, it's junk. They'd go tree stuff, but you would have went to a hunt, you would have wasted your money completely. I mean, and everything on. They were just dogs I would take and just like I said, hunt them and be able to go out and kill stuff with them, but they'd have never made it into comp hunting. It's probably been though. It's been several years ago. Time gets away with me, but it's been several years because I've been messing with these squirrel dogs now for about 35 years. So it's been a while.
I hear you.
Uh, but she was a good little dog. Dwayne's dad raised her. George Holland raised her, and I mean he trained her up and stuff. When I got her, I mean, she was pretty well doing everything that she needed to do. I mean, turn her loose, go get treed. She was a litter mate to Dwayne Holland's Jammer dog.
Hmm.
If you remember that dog, that's probably what he was hunting. Probably over there at that hunt was probably Jammer,
I
maybe.
I never got to see Jammer go. I want to say he was hunting Luke.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
tried. I remember seeing Jammer on the cover of Full Cry, and I wanted to pup out a Jammer so bad, and I just never could. Never did end up
Yep.
getting my hands on one. I've had some other pups from Dwayne. He's actually who I got my first one from. But yeah, I believe.
His dad can start a dog. I mean, he messes with them pups. He's had an act to just you get him a pup and he can get that thing treeing if it's going to tree and do good with it. I'm not a pup person. I'll tell anybody, if that pup's going to make it, I mean, I'll go and I'll take it. And if I've got a dog already treeing, it's not as bad. But if somebody just gave me one pup and I didn't have nothing else here to hunt, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. I'm not a pup person. My patience is not there. But now if I've got another dog going, just like the Buster dog I have now, with him going and stuff, I can take him hunting, and then when I get done, I can put him up, grab his pup, mess with it a little bit, and if I get aggravated or tired of messing with his pup, then I'll put it back in the box and I can turn him back out, and everything. And so it's not as bad. But I'm one of these days I'm hoping to be living somewhere where I can let one run loose, and everything. Where my dad's at, they let them run loose out there, and a lot of times they'll get started and then I'll go over and pick it up or just whatever, you know. So hopefully one of these days I'll be at a place like that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this last year or so. I want to talk about that Buster dog that you just mentioned. But so you handled Romeo for Wade this last
Yes.
season. How'd that go? Tell me about that.
Man, I really like Romeo. You know, I heard a lot about Romeo, and first of all, I want to say thanks for Wade letting me allow me to handle him and stuff. You know, and trusting me to keep him at my house and stuff like that. I mean, I like a dog that goes hunting, and he never disappointed me. I mean, when you cut him loose, he would go hunting. Uh, Romeo's a very nice dog. Uh, Anybody can probably call that dog. I mean, he's the same. I don't think it matters who unsnaps him. He's going to be the same, or he was for me. You know, when you turn him loose, he had one thing on his mind to go get trees somewhere. Really, really enjoyed hunting him. I was going to coon hunt him a little bit, and I just after the world hunt, but I sent him back to Wade and stuff, you know, and I've just been so busy that I hadn't really got to hunt what I need, what I'd like to hunt anyhow. So, and I had the Buster dog there, you know, again, but when I didn't have nothing going, you know, Wade gave me the dog to keep him down here and hunt him, and like I said, I enjoyed him, you know. Um, I really like my Buster dog. He's uh, he's a nice young dog, a big motor on him. Uh, got a good mouth on him. You know, when we went up there to LBL, he looked good up there in the hunt and stuff in the junior division of it. Um, Drawed out with some real nice dogs. The Xanax dog was a real nice dog. Drawed out with him, and I mean, I didn't know what mine would do around other dogs. Honestly, I took him before we went up there. I met up with Chris and dropped him, and Chris's little ecstasy dog put it on him. And I mean, he he got treed, but it took him a while to get treed and all that. But got him up there in that hunt, you know, and everything, and he looked real good. Cut him, and he went and done his own things. I think his last tree, he was about 900 yards from us and been treed for a while. I think he made 4 or 5 trees and had, like I said, 3 or 4 squirrels. I mean, he had a squirrel in all of them but one, I think. So couldn't ask for him to do any better. Got high hopes for him this season. Um, I just hope I have time to get to hunt him a little bit, or I may have to get somebody else to hunt him. This work got me really tied up right now. Uh, but really enjoy him when you can cut him loose, and he usually goes hunting. You may not like it when he gets treed, but he's usually going to go somewhere to get treed. So
Mm, tell us what he's out of.
he is out of Romeo, and then out of Tom Smith's Cleo dog is what
Okay.
he's out of. Um, like I said, he's I don't know, he's not quite two, I don't believe right now. Uh, just a little young male.
Are Cleo and the Cash dog related at all?
I don't think so. I don't know. Really don't know
Because
because
Romeo's out of Cash, correct?
yes,
Yep.
yes, from my understanding, that's correct. Um, really don't know what Cleo's out of. Honestly, I don't. I don't think she's out of Cash. I don't believe. I've always wanted to go with her. I've never got to see her go.
Yeah, I've not either.
I've heard a lot of good things about her. I heard she'll go to put you in another area code.
Yeah. You still do quite a bit of coon hunting, don't you?
I do. I'll be honest. Coon hunting is my favorite over squirrel hunting or anything. I just have more time where I can coon hunt usually. When I get off work in the evenings, I can go home most for the most part, grab a dog, or even if I go to work and stuff till later or whatever. When I get home, I mean, I can make time to coon hunt. I can grab a dog and still go hunt for a few hours and then get back in. Um, it's just here lately, I've not been in this heat, but not been coon hunting. And honestly, it's just mainly me being lazy. When I get off from work, after being in this heat all day long, it's hard for me to get motivated. You know, like I said, I hunt by myself for the majority of the time, and so if somebody calls and say, "Hey, let's go coon hunting," I'd load right up and go. But if they don't call, then sometimes it's easier when I come in and sit down, take a shower, and get me something to eat that I'm not getting back up. And so, but I don't have a coon dog either now. And that's a sign of it because I'm not out in the woods trying to make one, so, but I've enjoyed it. I hunted a slim dog for a long time and had good luck with him. And I mean, he's nothing flashy, but cut him loose, he'd go tree a coon. And about any given night, I could go tree a coon with him. And, you know, I don't walk a dog. I don't like walking a dog during the daytime, and I'm sure not going to walk one at nighttime. Um, when I cut one loose, it's either going to go hunting. This time of year, I'm going to cut him loose and I'm going to get back in the truck and turn the air conditioning on and I'm going to sit in here and wait on him to get treed and then either drive around to him where I can get closer or just take off to him. But I'm not walking one over something, and so my style and a lot of people's style may be different, but that's just the style that I like when I cut one loose, it's going hunting.
Now with Slim, did you just did you just pleasure hunt him, or did you ever take him to any PKC hunts or anything like that?
I never took him no PKC. Uh, I took him the first coon hunt I put Slim in was the NKC World Hunt, and it was they was all hounds, but three I think. I think Joe Walker had the rig dog there. I had Slim, and there was I think Brent Henderson had his Clyde dog, I believe there, and we got there. Of course, I mean you're hunting with a bunch of hounds. I don't know. They seemed like they was 15, 20 hounds there at it. Um, and whenever they draw out a cur dog, I'll just be honest with you, they was not thinking. I mean, they're thinking this is going to be easy. I'm sure, and stuff. And my first hunt, I didn't know what mine would do. I'd been hunting mine about every single night because I was trying to get him ready. I honestly, when I got him from Gary, I told Gary I took him one night. He treated coon, and I said I'm gonna push this dog because I'm gonna win the UMCA World Hunt with him. It was coming up, and I said I want to win that hunt. And so I was going to hunt this dog every night. And it was cooler and stuff. So I went to hunting. I'd get off work. I'd go home. I'd hunt every single night. And I didn't miss very many nights. If it was pouring down rain, thunder and lightning, whatever, I was going to take that dog because when I get to a hunt, I want him to be ready for it. And I hate to go to a hunt and stand out there and get soaking wet and my dog be up there underneath the truck somewhere or standing at my feet and we're both going to get wet. Now I'm really going to be mad. So I want to know if he's going to hunt in this stuff. So I take him and go hunt in it. But uh, I drawed a hound. Jared Washburn had an English dog, and he was winning a lot of stuff apparently with it. And they done a Calcutta, and of course Jared's dog went, I believe, about the highest there, and he was on a streak of winning everything he had. And I drawed out with him, and Jared's a good guy. I made a good friend that night with him. But we treed, I don't know, two or three coons. It seems like that night when we went, and he had an English dog, but Slim ended up winning the cast. Uh, they would get gone, get treed, we'd go in, and I mean, his dog may get treed, over there or whatever from it, and I'd be split from him. And I don't know if they ever treed together or whatever in it, but I ended up beating him that night and went to the next round, and I won it that night. And Joe, I think, was still in it. I think it ended up me and Joe stayed in it, but for a while in there. But I made it to the finals with Slim for the second night, and they allowed them to buy back in, which I didn't agree with that because to me, in a world hunt, whatever, when you beat them and they go out or you get eliminated, you should be out of it. And they let him buy back in, and Jared won his next hunt. And however it was, anyhow, he made it to the finals then. And when he ended up coming in it was bad weather, snow, miserable and stuff. And we went through, and Slim, I don't think Slim ever made a tree that final round. He hunted really good. Another Walker dog was in it, hunted real good, and then Jared's dog. But Jared's dog treed right there at the very end of the hunt. I think it was a 2-hour hunt, He treed right at the very end of it, and Slim got in there and got to making a little bit of noise off from it. But Jared's dog got treed. We walked in, he had a coon, and the hunt was over. But I was tickled with the little dog because first hunt they ever put him in, and beat some of these hounds that's been out winning stuff and doing things over there. I mean, I thought the little dog done what he was supposed to do, and stuff. Just get off by himself and get treed. So he looked good. And then I think it was the next weekend or the weekend after that, uh, they had the World Hunt, the UMCA World Hunt, and he ended up winning it that year. Um, but he did, and it was miserable then. I think that's when we had all that ice and stuff, and everything on it. But like I said, Slim's always been a dog that if he gets in there and gets treed, he's nothing flashy. But when he gets treed, if you got a gun in your hand, I'd go ahead and load it because you're probably fixing to look at a coon. I mean, he's always been very, very accurate, but don't have nothing now. Going to make something else.
There you go. So
Oh.
here's a question for you. So when you are squirrel hunting hard, are you a squirrel killer, or are you just working a dog and not trying to feed a bunch to them?
Man, I don't shoot a lot of squirrels out. Uh, be honest with you, a lot of times I don't even carry a gun anymore. Used to, I thought you had to go and every tree you made, I felt like you had to drop something out on top of them. But anymore, don't get me wrong, I'll carry a gun with me and I may knock out one or two here and there. Or if I got kids that's with me, I'll tell them kids to shoot every squirrel out that they tree. If I've got them with me, I'll tell them, hey, let me go in and handle the dog. But as soon as I handle him, then hey, y'all knock that squirrel out to him. Because for one, I'm trying to get the kids, where they're enjoying this sport and stuff. Because honestly, around me, there's not a whole lot of kids anymore. It don't seem like that's picked it up and started hunting it, and everything. And so it's kind of a dying breed over here where I'm at. About getting kids in it. You got a few, but sure like to see a lot more of them in it. But I don't kill. Like I said, I don't shoot everything. Um, if I'm by myself, like I said, I may carry a gun. I may not carry a gun. So I don't believe they have to have everything. I used to think they did, but anymore, I don't think they have to.
Well, are you a shotgunner or 22 man?
It just depends on what season or what time of year it is.
I
If
hear
I've
you.
got a young dog and the leaves are on and stuff, I carry a shotgun with me a lot of times. I mean, because if I'm trying to get him out and stuff like that, I mean, I want to knock him out right there on top of him. And sometimes my shooting skills, if I, you know, get close, he may break and run. And then here I am now, you got him wanting to follow it with his eyes and start trying to timber it and stuff. And I don't really want one timbering one. Um, I like the, I like a dog if he's going to tree, and people will disagree with me on this a lot. But if the Rambo dog, when he was here and stuff, he would put his feet on a tree and they didn't come off the tree. If a squirrel timbered from him, you could know that squirrel timbered. He would be standing there with his feet on the tree. And when you walked in, he'd be looking wherever that squirrel went. And he could watch it bail out of a tree and hit 3 foot from him and take off. And he'd never pull his feet off the tree. He'd stand there and watch that thing. People say, well, why? I would rather have him under it. But I don't. When I'm comp hunting, I want him when he gets treed, right or wrong, to stay until I put my leash on him. And that's just my preference. Like I said, it's everybody's to their own. And I know they say, man, as long as he's under that squirrel, you're probably not going to take a minus. But I was on the cast with you, with Romeo, and squirrel bailed out up there when I was walking in. You know what I mean? I took a minus with him, just because I mean, he's chasing this thing. We can't see it. I can see him, and then he gets treed right there and stuff. I mean, again, and it's just I don't want one to leave. Once they put their feet on the tree and commit, I want them there till I put my hands on them.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, nothing wrong with the ones that don't. I've seen some. If you can timber and they can timber good, then you maybe okay. But a lot of dogs I've seen can't timber a squirrel worth a flip.
Yeah, in theory, I want one to stay treed, but if they're good at timbering, man, when you're kill hunting, it is a lot of fun with one if it knows how to timber right. Uh,
If I'm killing, yes. If I'm killing and that's what I'm doing, then fine. But if I'm working a dog for competition hunting, then no, I want him to stay.
Yeah.
Uh, just because, like I said, I mean, you can't right or wrong. I mean, on squirrels, it's hard to take a minus if you get there and your squirrel's gone. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody take a minus for a slick tree on squirrel hunting. So but I've seen them take them minuses. They get in, their dog's lost it. Now he's running around trying to figure out where it went to and stuff like that. And you walk in on him and everything. So I would just assume when one of them pulls up and says he's there, that we just stay right there, right or wrong.
Hmm. Whenever you are kill hunting, what's your go-to guns? I wouldn't say I'm a gun snob, but I am kind of picky, and I really like certain guns. And tell me about your go-tos.
Well, I've got a little 20 gauge, one of them infinities. Uh, I like using it. It's light, and stuff. I mean, I can carry it. That's just one I've kind of made my little squirrel gun and stuff on it. If I'm using my 22, I've got an old, I don't know how old it is, but it's an old Ruger 1022 that I took and put a carbon fiber barrel on it. And it's super light, and stuff. Had trigger jobs and stuff done on it. Uh, couldn't tell you how much game that thing is knocked out of a tree. But that's always my go-to. I mean, if I'm going to carry it and stuff to coon hunt or whatever, I'm going to carry that. Unless I've got a little pistol I carry sometimes, a little Ruger Mark II pistol. It's got the bull barrel and stuff on it. I like it. I put a Crimson Trace grips on it. And so, like for coon hunting, I mean, if you can hold it steady or get you a rest or you can hold it steady, you put that dot on that coon and it'll shoot as good as a rifle will. I
Hmm.
mean, that thing, it shoots good. But them were probably my three guns that I grab up, if I'm going and stuff on it. It'll be either that old 22, and it's like I said, it's been hauled around many times, knocked off the top of the dog box. I mean, I think it's still got the original scope that I put on it. I mean, it's kind of faded on one side where it's roading a truck and stuff so much, and everything else on that scope. But it's been a good one.
Sounds like it.
I've got to Kobe. I've hunted a lot of competition hunts and stuff in my years and stuff that I've got to do it. Um, and I was like I saying, yeah, I've met a lot of super nice folks in it. But I've got to hunt some nice dogs in it. The I bought from Stacy Osborne the Indian Creek Sledge dog. He was probably one of the better coon dogs that I've ever owned. Uh, when you cut him loose, it didn't matter. He was probably going to go. I mean, I've seen him go a mile and get treed. And when you got in there, he'd be every breath treeing. Uh, I hunted him for a little bit. I think it was in 2010 when I had him, and he ended up getting hit on a highway one night while I was coon hunting and stuff, and I lost him. And it was a hard one to replace. I mean, when you have one that's you can cut loose, and I mean leaves out kicking dirt, and he's gonna get treed and be there when you get there and stuff. He was I hated to see that, and stuff with him. I hate to see any of them get into hunting career that short for a reason like that. But he was a good one. Uh, I went to Tennessee and bought a little blue dog from Mike Hamilton. Uh, Levi was what we called him, and he was a really nice dog. And Joe Walker had him for a while there, and he won a lot of stuff with Levi. He was a good squirrel dog or coon dog, but he was a nice dog. Um, I ended up getting a dog from Danny Wilkerson, the Briar Mountain Rebel dog. He was a litter mate, the Briar Mountain dude and all that bunch, the Mike dog and all them. Uh, I got him hoping I could make a coon dog out of him, but man, he hunted good, but I just never could. He never did do it for me on that. He'd tree and stuff, but he just never what I considered a coon dog. Um, but and then I've hunted. I was trying to think. There was the Yeti dog that Gary Mitchell had.
Hmm.
Hunted a lot with him, and I'll tell you, that dog there was one that was a nice dog. I mean, You could cut him the same way. He was going to go. Didn't matter where he had to go to get treed, and he was going to get treed and stuff. And have a coon when you got there and stayed as long as you wanted to stay. You know, the rig dog's been that way. We've been blessed, honestly, after kind of just saying that there, me and Joe and Gary, we've really been blessed with some dogs to coon hunt. Now, I mean, we coon hunted a lot, you know, when we first met. And, them boys had some nice dogs and stuff. The Sally dog was nice. Joe Walker had a little female called Chomp. Uh, I won a lot with her. Joe won a lot with her. I mean, she could compete. She was a little dog, 30 pound maybe. You could turn her loose. I'd go to them hunts, squirrel hunting her and then coon hunter too. But you go to them hunts, and NKC wanted to always draw out by weight, and they'd have enough there, you know, for the certain sizes. Well, then they'd say, well, we don't have enough for the big dogs. So who would like to hunt with them? Because people didn't want to hunt their little dogs with it. And I'd always tell them, hey, let me hunt against it. And they're like, that little bitty dog. And I'd tell them, hey, she don't ever look at the dog. When you turn her loose, she wasn't looking to see what size dog it was. Her mind was when you cut her loose, she's going to get treed somewhere. And she'd go as far as any big dog or whatever she had to do and do her own, you know, and she was a super nice little dog, you know, and everything, and coon or squirrels and stuff. So, like I said, I've been fortunate to get to really handle some nice dogs. I know I'm leaving some out, but I've handled some real nice dogs over the years and got to win a lot of stuff with them. Gary and Joe's always pretty well kept me in something to hunt and a nice dog.
What advice would you have for somebody that was looking to maybe dip their toes in the competition hunting waters?
I would say go with somebody in your area that you can go with, man. Anymore, everybody will let you go. If you just call them and say, hey, I want to go, I've heard, you know, about this, I'd like to try it. I don't know of anybody that's been doing this for a while, even that's just started. I don't know of anybody that wouldn't tell you that you couldn't go with them. Uh, and I would just recommend, hey, go on with them. Go with them. Pleasure hunt, comp hunt, whatever it is, just go with them and see, because you probably would like it. And this is the thing: you can go with me, you can go with you can go with whoever, and you're going to learn something. I mean, you may not agree with everything I do, but you know what? There might be one little thing that you see that I done that later on down the line, you may have an issue with a dog, and it may help you. You know, you're like, hey, I seen him do this and it worked. Or then he might go with you and it's the same thing. Or then you can combine all the information and stuff you've learned and make your own ideas up that work. There's no
Mm-hmm.
right or wrong way. I mean, it's if you want to do it, just go to the woods and do it. I screwed up more dogs, I'm sure, and still do. I mean, when I take them and stuff, I'm sure I still screw dogs up and everything. But the main thing is this: if you want a good dog, he can't sit in the pen. That dog needs to be in the woods. They can't learn how to tree and how to do this stuff sitting in a pen. I had a man tell me years and years ago that you know that you're hunting a dog enough and a lot when you go out to clean the pen out and you don't have to spray a pen out because there's nothing in it, because he's always used the bathroom outside of it. He's not in the pen very long if he's not making a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And if you will do that, then that means majority of the time that dog's in the woods, then he's learning something. So just keep him in the woods, I'd say. But I'd say go with somebody and just, you know, like I said, soak in all the knowledge you can, because like I said, I don't know if there's any bad knowledge that you can get from it.
Well, kind of on that note, I mean, just building relationships with people. I know I'll go to a comp hunt and or I'll be hunting and I'll have an issue with a dog and not really know what I need to do to fix it. I know what the problem is, and just by that's one of the nice things about hunts is you get to meet people that know more than you do, and
Mm-hmm.
build relationships with them, and you make a phone call. And if I'm having a problem with the dog, I might call 10 different people and say, "Hey, my dog's
Mm-hmm.
doing this. What would you do to fix this problem?" And you sit there and you listen to them, and then you get off the phone and you call someone else and you ask them the exact same question, and you might not do exactly what any of them tell you, but you're gonna get enough from all that that you can kind of formulate a plan, and a lot of times you end up hearing the same story pretty much over and over, but it really helps me out. I know to be able to call people, and you're one of those people. I don't know how many times I've called you and said, "Hey, I got a problem. How do I fix this?"
Well, and I'll tell you, I call people all the time. Oh, and I hadn't hunted with him in years, but I met Paul Beam in Mississippi. He was hunting, and I'll tell you, Paul. I don't know if he hunts many comp hunts anymore, but when Paul shows up to a hunt, I'll promise you, what he's got on end of his leash is no joke, and it will be ready. Paul's very very knowledgeable on dogs and stuff. I mean, I believe he could make anything. I mean, do what he wants it to do, and so I used to call Paul. I mean, I asked him one time, hey, if I got any questions, do you care if I call you? And he's always, no, man, you go right ahead. Gave me his number. And I tell him, if you get tired of answering, silly questions of mine, and he's always, hey, don't worry about it. You just call and ask any question. If I can help you, I'll help you. And that's how it's been with all of them. Brandon Lowry's helped me a lot over the years. I mean, just I'd have little dogs because if I buy a dog or get a pup or something that's out of somebody else's line, that they've messed with them dogs and they've done something with. And like I said, I say pup, I don't mess with pups much, but a dog that's out of there, a lot of times I call back to the people that's actually raised them dogs and that line of dogs because they can probably tell you some little secrets on that stuff that'll help start that stuff. Like this one here, I just got from Wade. I asked his dad the other day, I said, hey, this dog's got a little bird dog and stuff in it. I mean, I'm not familiar with a lot of that stuff. What do I need to do? And he kind of told me some things. And because everybody that's raised dogs long enough and done it, like Wade's dad's been in it. I mean, Paul's been in it. Gary's been in it with his dogs out, Spike and stuff like that. You can call these guys and just ask them. And most people could give you a little information that probably would help you out on starting that pup. Or if you have that dog, because they've seen enough. It's out of their line of stuff. They've seen it,
Mm-hmm.
and dealt with it before. And so I don't hesitate. I'll just be honest with you. When I get ready to call somebody, if I got a question, I'll shoot them a message on Facebook and just ask them, about the dog or this and that, because I've never had nobody turn me away that didn't want to help. Most of them was always after I talked to them a time or two. We've always become a lot closer friends and stuff like that. And they'll call me or I call them to this day still, at times, so, but
Well, even if say someone's listening to this and they have a pup and they've never met any of these like stud dog owners or anything like that, if you've got a dog out of their line, like they want that dog to do well. I mean, it
that's
does
right.
nothing but good for them.
That's right.
Every one of their pups that turns out is better for them in a way.
That's
So
right.
I mean,
That's right.
and for the most part, they're all really good guys, anyways. So don't be afraid to call them and talk to them because they'll help you out.
That they will. Like I said, I mean, I don't know of any guy that you couldn't call and ask. And I mean, a lot of them you see on the internet and all the same way. And people probably think that about me. Oh, that guy, he's a jerk the way he is on the internet. But honestly, when you meet them guys in person or you get on the phone and talk to them, they're usually a total different person.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll all help you. I mean, like I said, I've never had anybody deny not to help you whenever you ask them.
Yeah.
This group, this group of guys, honestly, and then you see it, benefit hunts and stuff. Man, when somebody goes down or their family has something goes on health wise or anything like that, honestly, somebody will usually get on there and make a phone call or say something, and you just see how they all pull together just to help that person. I mean, these guys are good guys. I mean, I've yet to see bad people in this bunch. I mean, they want the best for everybody. I feel like, I mean, to help out anytime they can.
Yeah.
Now they may not tell you all their secrets, so they don't want you to beat them all the time. They may let you figure some of that stuff out if it's there, but for all in all, they're going to help you out.
Yeah. I know you won the Oklahoma State race, NSD State race last year. You got any aspirations to push in for anything special, or what's getting ready for this
I,
comp season? What's your strategy this year?
Toby, I don't know if I'm going to push hard this year. I'll be honest with you. I've kind of got to the point I'm kind of burnt out on it. I enjoy the hunting and stuff still, but as far as comp wise, now when it cools off and everything and you get to going, it may fire right back up, you know. I mean, but I've just I'm getting to the point that I'm working so much right now, but I'm just to the point that I'm gonna try to stay qualified, so because I want to go to the world hunt and stuff like that. Everything's still nationals and things, but as far as just chasing up and down them roads and stuff like that, man, I'm about ready to just slow down and go do stuff that I want to do, or go hunt with buddies and stuff like that, and just have a good time with it, not having to think, man, I got to go all the time. Uh, I stay on the go all the time for one thing or the other. So, like I said, this year I may try to kind of just stay hit a few close ones and stuff. But other than that, not really travel much and stuff. And I really haven't over the last year or two. I like Oklahoma because it's within, for the most part, within 3 hours of me. Hazen, when Bart puts them on down there at Hazen, that's within 2.5 hours of me. And so, I mean, I can them right there. I'll probably try to hit if it's where I can. But other than that, I don't know if I'm gonna try to run any race or try to do the Oklahoma race or not. It wears you down, and stuff. And we've always got kids still. I've still got kids doing stuff. I got one that's into cheerleading and stuff this year. So, uh, man, that's probably gonna keep me busy having to go, and support them and stuff. So, and my other two girls, I've actually got four girls. I've got twin girls that are 27 now, and then I've got two bonus daughters. One's 19 and one is 12. And so, the two that I have of my own and stuff over the years, I've chased a dog around a lot of times. I mean, I was always there for them and for their stuff, but you know, weekends and stuff, I chased dogs and stuff like that around, and I probably lost a lot of family time that you can't get back. And of course, I was young, and stuff and that. And so now then, I try to make sure that you know I'm gonna spend time with my family and stuff because once they get older, I look back at it now. Them two young girls of mine, the twins, they was with me all the time when they was young, and then I'll probably burn them out on it. Be honest with you, coon hunting and squirrel hunting as much as I did. I mean, they walked a lot of miles with me, and now then they don't. I can't hardly get them to go as much anymore. They're like, "Are you gonna stay out all night if we go, or are you gonna do this?" So I mean, I tell people all the time, spend time with your family and stuff. You got time to hunt later, but them kids grow up, and when they grow up, they got their own stuff, and you don't get to spend as much of that time with them. So I've tried to make it more of an obligation now to. I'll still do a share of the hunts that I can go to, but if it's a if there's a softball tournament or something like that, then I'm gonna try to be at it and support them kids at it. And now that this one's into cheerleading, I'm gonna try to be there. One of my bonus daughters, I'm gonna try to be there at her to support her going on, the cheerleading stuff.
Hmm.
So, but you can't ever bring that stuff back. They get older, you can't bring back when they're young like that. So you miss out on a lot of that stuff chasing them dogs. But
That is sound advice.
I just this year here, I'm gonna, like I said, just whatever happens, happens. I'll hunt some and probably try to pleasure hunt more. But like I said, just kind of whatever's going on.
Yeah.
But I enjoy your hunts. When you had your hunts up there, I really enjoy coming up to your part of them up there and stuff too. I like that terrain up there where it's at.
Yeah, we've got some decent hunting, which that I'm afraid I've lost that big ranch we hunted on in the September hunt, whenever where I guided Jet. I'm afraid I've lost
Mhm.
that. I think that got leased out on me this year. So
Oh man, maybe they'll still let you go in there to hunt it some, and
yeah,
everything.
I gotta go have that conversation. I just haven't made it over there. I know who leased it, but they're gonna do
And I,
some deer guiding on it. I don't know if I can talk them into letting me slip over there when it's not deer season or not.
yeah, and I enjoy. I save a lot of my time to turkey hunt. I'll be honest with you, that turkey hunt is my favorite sport. If I had to choose one thing, it'd be put the dogs up and and grab a shotgun or grab somebody and take them turkey hunting. I enjoy that turkey hunting, whether I kill one or not. Just getting to work birds for whoever's with me. Uh, I enjoy that. And me and my wife's got to. We've got to spend a lot of time and stuff. Getting her into turkey hunting. She's killed a few turkeys and stuff. Had a good season this past season. We've kind of been talking and stuff after this year's over. I told her, I said, what I would like to do is me and her go together and stay together while we're turkey hunting, and both of us try to kill like a grand slam at the same year, and just go to different states and kill our stuff and everything like that, and do it together. I enjoy probably turkey hunting with her as much as I do anybody. I mean, she gets mad at me a lot of times and everything because I screw stuff up, but she don't understand yet. It's hard to take two people and get in there and move on turkeys and stuff like that, especially somebody that don't turkey hunt as much. It's easier to slip around by yourself because she'll go with me and she'd be like, well, that's fine. Said, you go by yourself the next day and you kill it. But if I go with you, you don't do the same stuff. But it's hard to move with two people. Uh, you know that. I mean, you've got a youngin that you're hunting with right now and stuff, and you can't hunt the same way as you do when you're by yourself.
Nope.
Uh, and stuff on it. But I've really enjoyed it. Like I said, me and her get into some arguments and stuff on it because I apparently I don't listen to her like I should when it comes to that. And it was always my fault anytime something messes up, she don't get to kill the turkey or whatever. Or it's always my fault, and that's fine. But we've enjoyed really spending a lot of time together. That's something we both enjoy doing together. So that's something this year I'm gonna probably hold a week's vacation for is to just go to a different state and and get to hunt and stuff like that. Maybe both of us kill a different bird this year that we hadn't got to kill.
Yeah, I'm gonna side with
So
her. Just for the record, I'm gonna side with her on this. So
that's all right. It don't bother me. Hey, it's I pick at her enough anyhow, so I'm always in the doghouse for something. It seems like around her. I love her to death, but I'm always in the doghouse.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but no, we've like I said we've enjoyed it. I enjoy getting to watch. I guess just the older you get, but I enjoy getting to watch other people, like her kill turkey. It makes me more exciting when she shoots a turkey than it does, me or my nephews and stuff when they do it. Just friends, close friends. Me and a good friend of mine, we turkey hunted for years and years together, and we didn't get to hunt as much this year together. But uh, normally, we've sat together and one of us will kill one, and then we'll hurry up and take, and the other one to get to kill one. But I enjoy getting to see somebody and getting to work them and stuff like that, than if I even pull the trigger on it and stuff anymore myself,
yeah,
So, but like I said, it's spend that time with your family as much as you can because one of these days they're all going to, and including ourselves, we're going to get older and won't be able to do all that stuff. Enjoy that. Enjoy the outdoors. We live in a country that what we're very very fortunate that we get to do what we want to do and don't have to answer to a lot of different things. So enjoy this national forest. I live in thousands of acres up here around me that I can take off and hunt anything I want to hunt around here, of it, and or side by side ride or whatever that I don't have to pay for a lease. I hear a lot of people saying, well, I can't hunt over there because I got a lease and stuff. Well, all of ours around me, there's thousands and thousands of national forest that's around me. And, it may not be to everybody's terrain because most of it's up and down. When you look on your map card, the lines are real close together. So, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I really enjoy hunting these hills. But,
yeah. I saw a post someone made today or today or yesterday. It kind of struck a chord, but it was a kind of a view looking up off a mountain, and it said one of my worst fears is waking up one day realizing I won't be able to get here anymore. And
mm-hmm.
that kind of got to enjoy it while you can. That's for sure.
You can because honestly, you look back. I'm gonna pick on Gary right now. Gary's getting older, and he's older than me and stuff. And you can just see over the years he's slowed down. Gary's a comp hunter, and Gary's a good one. Even if you're pleasure hunting, it's always in his head. I guarantee he can tell you who's won or who's not won. Because if he wants to turn loose one more time, then that means he's behind. But when he says, "Hey, I'm good. We probably ought to just call it a day," then that means he's ahead. And stuff. So, but Gary's that way. He's retired now and everything, and gets to hunt all the time. Hunts every day, I guess. But uh, I mean, when you get older like that, them guys take naps all the time, and stuff. I mean, I don't want to get to that point when I'm that old that I have to take a nap, I mean, and they schedule that in their schedules and stuff anymore. But uh, when you do though get older, it is harder to get around. I noticed that myself. I mean, just it's hard to get up and walk up and down these hills and stuff like that. I mean, I feel it, in my legs and everything else. I mean, I can see now where my dad and my grandpa and different ones I always knew, I always thought, well, I'll never be like that. Well, now I'm getting to that point where I'm having to slow down some. So enjoy it while you can and while you're healthy and everything like that, because one of these days it's going to get to the point where it's going to be harder to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, D, it's we've just crept past our hour point, which is usually about what I shoot for. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we slip off of here?
I don't really, Kobe. I just want to say I appreciate, like I said again, you calling and getting this out here. I mean, if it'll help anybody or if anybody has any questions or anything like that, that I can help them with, don't hesitate to call. Or if they've got any questions or whatever, they can get on there on the LBK. We got several of us on it that if we can help, I know any of them guys will help any way they can. And so, like I said, just reach out and stuff like that. If they just want to talk dogs, reach out and holler at me or anybody on that group, and we'd sure visit and talk with them and stuff about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've enjoyed you calling and us doing this. So
Well, I appreciate it. It's kind of a last minute deal. I had another guest lined up, and they kind of had a not a health type emergency, but kind of emergency situation pop up, and they
that's
they
right.
were tied up today, and I appreciate you helping me out and jumping on here with me.
Hey, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. And hey, have a good Fourth of July and be safe out there.
Yep, you too, buddy, and everybody else out there, take care and keep wearing out that boot leather. I just want to give everyone that's listening a sincere thank you. Getting this podcast going has been a project. I really hope you're enjoying it, and if you don't mind, give the show a good rating and review wherever you're listening to it at, or share it on your social media to help get some traction. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to your feedback.